Hey everybody, welcome back to the Ticket Webcast. I'm Dave Paulson. Joining me this week is Jessica Bliss. Who's hungry? It was free queso day. We have free queso at the food table, but I'm still hungry, and I think I get the feeling that in the next couple weeks we'll be in luck. There'll be some food to go around in Nashville.
Yeah, just a little bit. I mean, it's crazy. In the next 2 weeks, we're going to have two huge music and food festivals coming to downtown Nashville. Both have an interesting flavor and interesting mix of musical acts and chefs from across the country and locally. We've got this weekend the Music City Eats Festival. And let's start off, and who better to talk about the festival than one of its founders, Nathan Followell from Kings of Leon.
I'm Nathan Followell from Kings of Leon. We are here to tell you about the amazing Music City Eats that is going to happen the weekend of September 20th. It's going to be a great weekend of food, wine, music, wine, food, wine.
So Music City Eats is a new festival downtown. Yeah. This is the first year, and Nathan and his brother are two of the producers of it. And I was able to hang out with them actually in a honky-tonk downtown with Nathan and Tim Love, who's another Texas chef who's coming in to be part of it, and Tandy Wilson from City House, a local chef.
Yeah. And
it was funny that they were great. They started off sharing pictures of their kids, and then they really talked about Music City Eats and kind of what it is. And this is a festival that really actually has a big food focus.
Yeah.
They've got chefs from across the country who are coming in to do demonstrations. You've got Trisha Yearwood, who's going to be here talking about how to make her grandma's cheesecake. You got Jada De Laurentiis, who's going to do a demonstration. It's a lot about being face to face with the chef, being able to ask them questions about how they make what they make and what their specialties are. And then there's a music element to it too, and that's Petty Fest.
Yeah.
Tell me about that.
Well, I was talking. You talked to Nathan in person. I guess a couple weeks ago. We actually have a photo of them that's running on the top of the fold. Earlier this week, on the phone, he was over in London about to do this show called Later with Jules Holland, where you like 6 pretty musical acts all playing in a round. Like they all have like a full stage setup, and they all play against each other. It's really cool to see.
Awesome.
And on that show on Tuesday, it was them and Sting and Kanye West all playing together in the same place. So they're definitely in the middle of promoting this new album that's coming out on Tuesday. It's their first in a few years. But what's cool is, normally like you do nothing but that when you're about to put out an album. You're traveling the world, you're making all the rounds. But they're just going to come back here and do a bunch of Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers covers with a cast of musical friends at War Memorial Auditorium on Saturday night. I'll be going and covering that live. It should be really cool. It's based on this it's kind of a very Nashville thing that they do in New York City, where all these friends had a band called the Cabin Down Below Band, and they've done tributes to the Rolling Stones with like an all-star cast of New York rock guys. Mm-hmm. They've done it for a few years, and the Kings, I gather, are in with that crowd and decided, hey, we could totally do that in Nashville with a bunch of talented people that are very used to showing up at a venue and doing a cover spur of the moment with an all-star band. So we've got Patrick Carney from the Black Keys, Emmylou and Rodney, a bunch of other people joining them that I'm blanking on right now, but you'll get all of the details when I cover it live on Saturday, so you can go to Tennessean.com/music. So that's the music side of that one. Yeah. And it looks like an awesome event. I'm not as well versed in the food world as much as music, but it looks like they've really gotten some big name chefs and people that really know what they're doing showing up there.
Yeah, absolutely. And then if that's not enough, you've got next weekend, the following weekend, where you have the Southern Ground Music and Food Festival. And this is another well-known band, the Zach Brown Band, that's putting this on. This is the second year that it's coming to Nashville. It'll be the third year that they've ever put it on. And this is a festival that leans a little bit more towards music, whereas maybe Music City Eats leans a little bit more towards food. But food's not an afterthought here.
Right.
So music at this festival is 2 straight days. They said the music never stops, basically. And they are going to have bands going all day long, and then at the end of each night they're doing what they're calling a superset, which is the Zach Brown Band, which will be joined by some other huge names. You've got, Willie Nelson is doing it, Kenny Chesney's doing it, Jason Mraz is doing it. So I was able to talk to the Zach Brown bassist, and he said those things are just what really makes this festival cool, because it brings a whole new energy to what one of their shows would be. You know, you get a whole bunch of new flavor and you know, new instruments and voices, and it's just, you know, it's a really cool thing. So they got that going on, and then they also have the food.
Right.
They approach it kind of as a little bit more upscale food truck type things, but this year they've really kind of brought in some new stuff. They've brought in a couple of chefs who have won, you know, national food shows. They've got chefs from Chicago. They're doing all sorts of interesting things, and they're also having kind of this foodie experience thing where you can buy a special ticket and take part in that. And then they have this really cool thing, which is like stage side show, you know? So you sit down at a special table, you get high-end dining, you're being served by the Zac Brown Band's executive chef, and you know, they say you're close enough where like one of the band members, if they wanted to, could take something off your plate if they wanted to. So it's just really, really interesting, you know, mix of food and music, and that just seems to be the thing now.
Yeah, it does, and it's nice to know that if you can go to one of these festivals downtown by the riverfront, and the food options have been good, but you know you don't have to settle for a hot dog. You can like try anything out you want to, and it might pay off to be a little more adventurous because you'll get a giant line for, say, fried chicken or something, and then but if you want to go Korean, there might be a slightly shorter line for that or pizza. So really branch out and see some acts from all over the place. The ones you mentioned, Edward Sharpe and the Magnetic Zeros, indie rock, really big band in that world. Yeah, that looks like that's going to be awesome too. And I think Cindy Watts will be hitting that up and covering that live next weekend. So tons of music, tons of food. Loved the story, Jessica, and thanks for telling us all about it. I'm going to run through what else is going on this weekend, which runs the gamut. We'll start off with the Springhouse Theater Company presenting Cinderella, the Rodgers and Hammerstein production that's running on Friday and Saturday at the campus of Springhouse Worship and Arts Center, 14119 Old Nashville Highway. Go to springhousetheater.com for details on that in case all this rock and roll and food just doesn't really sound up your alley. You want a slightly quieter evening. If you don't want a quieter evening, you've got the beer feast, not fest, feast, a feast of beer from Flying Saucer, our neighbors practically, in a place that Tennessean employees wind up from time to time. It's a 21 and up festival running from 1 to 6 p.m. Saturday at Flying Saucer, and details are at beerfeast2013.com/Nashville. Tuesday, Ani DeFranco had to take a break from the road to have her second child, a baby boy, earlier this year. And she'll be at Marathon Music Works over in Marathon Village on Tuesday. And tickets are on sale now, 32 in advance, 35 day of the show. Go to marathonmusicworks.com for more details on that. Finally, hold on. This weekend, I neglected to mention that, and Linda Zettler will be going to this. I don't think she's working. She's just going to have some fun. Alabama Shakes, rising roots rock band, going to be playing at the Woods Amphitheater at Fondell. I think if you want to get in like one last awesome outdoor amphitheater experience this year before that closes up and it gets a little cold, that's one way to do it on top of Southern Ground. So that's happening Saturday. Wednesday, Mavis Staples and the Blind Boys of Alabama, two veterans in R&B and gospel, are playing at War Memorial Auditorium. That's on Wednesday, and details are at WMA, as in War Memorial Auditorium, WMARocks.com. So, you know, that's the peripheral stuff. We should also mention an up-and-coming country singer named Taylor Swift has 3 sold-out nights at Bridgestone Arena starting tonight. Cindy Watts will be covering that. She's got like 12 trucks parked with like her face all over them, all around Bridgestone. So if you had any doubt or guessing, I wonder who's there tonight, it's Taylor Swift, and she'll be there for 3 nights, and it's all sold out. So we'll have that too. This is a crazy busy month, so I thank you, Jessica, for joining me.
No problem.
And we'll see you guys next week. Thanks.